So, Phineas got himself taken to Tartarus. That's usually a one-way trip.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of busting him out. That's insane, and likely a hell of a lot of fun.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Great. Figures I've got to be the one to save the day.
Someone has to protect humanity's future. Who better than us?
I'm sure the outlaw Phineas will appreciate you saving his day, as it were, Captain. If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
Rue, what do you think about all this?
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane, but maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
I guess I would have to see if I want to do Felix's quest. And let's be honest, I'm not really all that excited about doing Felix's quest, so we're going in, or we're doing it. Everyone strap in.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
We got this, everybody. See, you've been picking up a lot of stuff. It's lemony fresh. Sparkling is this unit's middle name, a steeper design to kill germs rather than people. Locks the perk Clean Sweep for Sam. Oh, that's the broken snow globe. Could it have been Hawthorne's tampering that gave this janitorial automech a predilection for picking up junk? Predilection? Rock hard and slightly discolored, these moldy Rizzo's Sweetheart Cakes are decades beyond their no more refunds after this date. Wait, so does that mean that you basically have your stuff? Let's see, you have 5, 6 perks. This is 7, so yeah. I guess you don't get a thingamabobber, you just, whatever. Okay. Distance. Close range for you. Ellie. I prefer you to stay with range so that you can use that weapon, because that weapon is too good. Alright, we're bringing Sam into the final fight here, which seems to be the final fight. We're going to make a save in a new save slot. Alright, interesting that we don't have access to any of these two planets. Or Typhon. I wonder if related to other quests. We don't have any other quests, yeah, so... Here we go. You are about to assault the Labyrinth on Tartarus and determine the fate of the Halcyon colony. Saves made after this point can only finish main story on Tartarus. Side quests and downloadable content such as Peril on Gorgon or Murder in Eridanos will be unavailable for any saves made beyond this point. If there's anything you want to do before you enter the prison, do it now, before you cross the point of no return. I'm not afraid. Sure. Let's see.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the Labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time.
Anything useful about Tartarus?
Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return.
Promise not to leave without me?
I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
Well, of all the places to get arrested.
UDL does appreciate the courtesy you've done us by delivering yourself here. As a show of our deepest gratitude, we will make your execution quite swift.
Eyebrow stylist? Hey, how do I know you're a real officer under that helmet? Show me your biometric ID.
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the ID of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the... Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
All right, everybody. This is it. About to overwrite your point of no return. Save. I advise you keep this save. This is the final save for your character that can access DLC. Saves beyond this point. Oh, I actually overwrit. Oh no, I overwrit the wrong save. Takofu. Takofu. Alright, well, it doesn't even matter anymore. Right? That's the team. That actually the Groundbreaker?
Entering quiet mode.
Oh, I feel like this didn't take me hardly anywhere. That's because it didn't.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardats!
Wait, what?
Monster neutralized.
I don't know if it's a good idea for y'all to be helping me.
Cycle complete. Unit's performance evaluation is sterling.
Wait.
What was that? Open fire! On the block!
Dump the body for the rest of the garbage. Somebody clean up this mess.
Can't let you take all the glory here, bounty hunter.
Okay. You know. Good with that. Let's see if we can, Sorry, Mardet. You got bodied. Can't go to the Groundbreaker. Well, thanks for the help. I, didn't need it. Well, you know, sure. I appreciate the homies, you know, having my back. Why don't we go upstairs? A lot of passwords for something called a RAM. There are 3 columns, but only one is legible. The rest have been scratched out. Today's password for the column is 1 Akande. Or a prison ship. This is very toe up. Oh, this is not a ship. This is a planet, right? Wait, are you guys having problems over there?
Sure never planned on seeing the inside of this place.
Area sanitization assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
How did they know that we were coming to Tartarus?
Nice of them to leave us a few options.
What's my board reputation? Just out of curiosity. Confused.
Sublight has arrived. Hey, kid. A little bird told me you could use our help. I said I owed you one, and I always pay my debts. We're not about to leave our
Wow.
vice president hung out to dry. Are we contractors? Go bust some heads and tell him Lilia sent you.
Returning to control mode.
Needed you to be quicker on the draw, Lilia. That wouldn't have been worth the time.
What was that?
System searching illegal. Error. Employee information not found. Identify yourself.
That statement is false.
Error. Paradox protection protocols have prevented me from registering your stated identification. Please report to your nearest mechanical engineer.
Everything I say is false.
Error. Paradox Prevention has temporarily disabled this unit's auditory processing. Thank you for your cooperation.
Got it, you mark!
Unexpected noise at beginning security.
What was that?
Oh man. 100 hack. Ooh. Wonder if that can kill me. Alright, so Sublight helped me out. That's crazy. Seems like there's only one Sublight dude. Everyone else is Halcyon. 2 of them. Well, what happens when you thug out? Living that thug life? Alright, we're good on that kind of stuff. Nejma. Well, they give me access to all of them here. I don't think I've leveled up, but we'll just double check here. Welcome to Tinkertown. Purchase a DLC campaign to increase character level and tinker this item further. Interesting. Interesting. Repair all equipped. Right, nice little checkpoint. To the pit. Oh, I need to mark again. Let's mark here. In the loading screen. Alright, storage manifests. So they got some dimethyl sulfoxide canisters. Architectural records. Okay. Prison manifest. It's not on a lot of experience, but you know. What the heck is going on here? I don't have very much charge left, which is why I'm looking around.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Oh. The Iconoclast. Coming in to save the day. Haven't... Well, my day is not saved yet.
Scum detected in the vicinity.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Are you talking while on shift?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please.
Everyone gets one mistake. Just don't do it again.
Thank you.
Unsealed door. Chairman Rockwell. Well.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, and the Wayward Doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting, after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical. My staff jokes that it's because you're a walking pile of refuse.
Interactive database updated. The unique organic substance labeled Chairman has been classified as filth imminent for incineration.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Alright, let's drop some frames. Chairman Rockwell, I presume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
Please, Phineas would rather die than cooperate.
Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
That crackpot is saving the frozen colonists you gave up on.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
At least that means someone's recognizing our work.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
You know, I wouldn't have to if you'd be more cooperative about all this.
Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton dissent. We don't need your help.
I think I'm gonna kill him anyways, but with your resources and some of the folks on the Hope, we could do a lot.
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
You're darn right you will, otherwise I'm coming for you next.
Take out the trap.
The board is now agitated. White chocolate yummies? Oh my goodness. Alright, well, we'll reload. You know, the guy kind of deserves it, you know. He's a little bit of a jerk. Messages, cameras. 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 Meh. Assortment of adhesive notes. It appears whoever works here uses adhesive notes to stay organized. A couple of the more intelligible ones, intelligible notes. Rockwell, visit to do, confiscate badges, reprint badges, change maintenance locks, order new locks, reevaluate lockdown procedure, update docking authority with a new lockdown procedure. Intake bet, bottles, cigs, weapons. You know, you're really lucky I'm letting you live.
I've got work to do.
You're like incredibly lucky I'm letting you live. Here.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Wow, Sanjar? Grim. Ooh, the Sokofula's grim.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splatters.
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
Why am I getting a board reputation decreased when I'm doing literally nothing? I mean, I know I'm breaking into a...
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. Words cannot express the extent of my disappointment. We had a plan. All you had to do was skip the Hope to Tartarus, as I asked. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
You sure love talking. Do they pay you by the word?
Typical. Running your mouth in the middle of a crisis. It's almost as if you delight in chaos. The force of your personality is well documented. I simply never imagined you could turn the system upside down through charisma alone. I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were always too dangerous to leave unchecked.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your impertinence. Leaving you alive was my greatest mistake, but it is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Don't test me, Sophia. It's bad for your health.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain.
Let's talk about this.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me.
Hey. Charm is interesting. But I got that Persuade 100. You don't want to die on Tartarus. I'm giving you a chance to walk away.
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on.
That's the option that I chose, right? Let's see. Three is hilarious. You know what? I'm going with that. You have absolutely no chance against me, but I love your positive attitude.
So full of confidence as always. If you're trying to make me nervous, it won't work. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
Definitely 1 or 3. I want to go with 3. I feel like 1 is the right choice, but I'm going to go with 3. Halcyon is collapsing. If protecting this colony was your duty, you failed.
Don't you think I know that? Yes, I made mistakes. Costly mistakes. Leaving you alive was the worst of them all. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Ooh, persuade and science. Dr. Well and I are both scientists. We believe Halcyon can be saved.
I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return. The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now.
It's going to take a miracle to save Halcyon, but we can do it if we work together.
I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you.
This is great. Sure. I've left a lot of corpses behind me, Sophia. You sure you want to be next?
When you put it that way, no. Not in the least. Damn it all. Very well. You win. I'm familiar enough with your methods to realize my chances of survival are low. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
I don't feel like I earned that. The conversation was kind of a little weird, and yeah, I don't feel like I've earned that. Thank you. I'm glad we could settle this without violence.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell, Captain.
Right. See if she's actually going to honor what she said, or if I have to murder her anyways. This place is way too nice to be a prison colony area. What the heck is that? Airman's key. Gonna lock me inside?
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Are you kidding? The board never stood a chance against me.
Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Wait, hold on. I need to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
There's something else I know about the other colonists, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Well, better late than never, I guess.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself, but I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I don't have any more questions. We've got work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Oh, yes, a murderous psychopath? I've got this. It's definitely 1 or 2. Although 4 is kind of hilarious. I've got plans. With the chairman in my pocket, no one's gonna know I'm running the colony.
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the Board's authority. But the Board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists: engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Bolstered by her status as savior of humanity, Lilia Hagen ushered Sublight Salvage to a new golden age. Her company grew bolder and more transparent over time, muddying the line between lawful and criminal for the entire colony. The Sublight family would thrive for years to come. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on. to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believed she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.